Hello. I am Mac here over at the Call to Action podcast, where we talk everything action industries, everything Schmoedown, and we have a recent competitor in IG action matches. My cat is here with me to join in on this because he was so excited to hear that Chandru was joining us. Hello, everyone. And
Hi.
here chatting with me, I have not only Chandru, our guest of honor, but we also have Kelsey, boss babe in all things. Love her. Oh man, you're so cute. I love you. Nat,
I love you.
gosh, my man,
Hey, everybody.
the real OG over here, and Chandru.
Hi.
Holy fucking shit. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited that you're here hanging out with us right now. Brian says hi. Hi, Brian. And so let's just kind of jump right into it. You just started very recently getting into Schmoedown. Pretty recently. You're not like one of some of the other recent competitors that joined IG through the fan leagues. You actually kind of did it a little bit old-fashioned way. Is that right?
Yeah, a little bit. So I just met with Christine and Mark in one of the live shows, and then I also talked to them. I got a chance to talk to them even longer during the awards show, and then that's when Christine saw how much in love with Schmoedown I was, and then I was talking to him about competing in an IG potentially. So and then I've been going to the tapings and usually just sit in the background, like I said, and answer questions just for the IG matches. And then Christian thought it'll be a really nice, fun idea to put me in the matches, and I'm here right now.
Well, it sounds like you were a fan. You weren't so much
I
in
was.
the leagues or anything like a lot of the new players, like I said, but you were very much a fan before you were a competitor.
Oh, totally.
So,
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, I did not come from the fan leagues, but I still consider myself as like one of the big fans, and still not like a 50-50, I would say, as a fan and a competitor. That's why even though when I'm like not shooting a match, I still make it a point to should go to the studio and watch all of the tapings. It's just like so much fun to be with that community, and it's just everyone is so, it's this love of movies of everyone which is just like an amazing thing to see.
You're not kidding. There's such a genuine love, between competitors and respect. I hope to respect. I'm not there, obviously, at the recordings and everything, but there's such a respect and genuine joy we have for winners and, people that, competitors that lose, we all know it affects us more than it should. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
When it's described, like when you lose a match and you describe that it's about movie trivia and everything, it sucks. It affects you.
It does.
For days. It's not just like, well, that sucks. It's like you go through like a mourning period for
For sure. At least if you get like a knockout or something, it's completely different. It's completely different for a different reason. But if you're so close and you've missed the victory based on like one or two questions, that is like you keep going back to the match and thinking, oh, what could I have done better? Like I know this answer. I should have gone like on a JTE rule for this question. Things like that keep building up. Like if after my first match, it took me almost a week to just like get rid of that. And I still remember Jay Washington telling me like after my loss, he was like, I know you're going to be kicking yourself over a lot of these questions that you missed, and I'm going to kick you over this one specific question because that was an easy one and you missed it.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, whether it be IG or singles or teams, it is 99% psychological and 1% actual knowledge. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, if you don't have if you have to have the right mindset going into the match, but you have to be able to think strategically when it comes across these questions.
Yeah, for sure.
So, well, I mean, so like you mentioned, you were a fan before and you just started. Were you always did you know about fan links? Did you think fan links? Did you think IG, that's where I want to be? Or did you initially like singles and teams and stuff? Or did you want to or right away where you're like, IG, that's where I want to be?
I think like one of the first matches I saw was definitely a singles match, and but like I would do okay in those matches. Like mostly I watched them for the drama, but like once I started watching an IG match, that's when I realized, oh, I'm actually like getting 80% of these questions even without preparation, and like that. As
Mm-hmm.
soon as I watched a one IG match, and I knew that was my home, and like that's where I belong, and
What do you mean by that? It's like you kind of knew it was your home.
it's just like all these movies that I love and love to talk about, and just people just answering questions about those, and it just I had a sense of belonging with the people on the desk answering those questions too. Like it's just it was crazy for me because like as singles and teams usually like I don't connect that well because sometimes it's about movies I've not even heard of.
Yeah.
But in IG, it's never the case, and it's love of these like geeky movies, and I'm like a geek by heart, a geek through and through, and it was amazing to see that being celebrated and being like brought to the forefront.
Do you ever see yourself going into singles or teams, or are you just like locked in underneath?
Oh no, I would get obliterated if I could go to the singles. Like I said, I grew up watching a lot of movies, but because I grew up in India, most of the movies I watched were all like either Tamil or Hindi movies. So I didn't
Mhm.
watch a lot of English movies growing up. But the ones that would actually be released in India are all these like either geek movies, and then some big name movies like Spielberg's Nolan movies and Leonardo DiCaprio movies and so on. So I have like this sort of very narrow field of vision when it comes to like all movies, but it fits very well with IG movies, and that's kind of where my specialty and like my fandom is. And
But you're
I'm glad
definitely
this.
X-naying out singles and teams forever?
Uh, I'm
Forever?
never say never. It's what I've heard. Like it's what I'm gonna continue with what I've heard other people saying. So we'll see. People are thinking of other opportunities like if there is a competitor who's like good in literally every other movie and except for IG movies and wants a teammate, I'd be like totally down. But
Mhm.
singles, I'm totally, especially this year. I don't know if you guys have seen the singles matches going on. Like it's completely on a different level, and I'll probably like, answer like one or two questions correct in the whole match. That's the level I'm at. But teams, like if I join the teams, I'll be I'll be part of like a fun team, like maybe like a Wild Berries or an Inky and the Brain. No, Inky and the Brain is also like really tough, and they can pull off an upset very easily. But like I said, I not if even if I'm part of a team, I don't think my team would be fighting for the belt anytime soon. It would just be like a
Well,
fun.
I take you on my team any day of the week.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's true. It's true. All right. Well, I mean, specifically, I mean, it sounds like you mentioned, you're really just really hyper focusing on IG, obviously, right now. Now, you are a relatively new competitor, and you joined, Inner Geekdom at a time when Inner Geekdom has never been more popular, but also on top of that, has it never been more competitive? I know a lot of fans are really hoping for more categories be added to the wheel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that I know. I'm hoping to see more. Some of the deep pulls they had, both Kalinowski and Rachel had a pull out of their ass for the live event. I was just like, that this one smidgen of a line in this huge fucking movie. And you have to know it. And you must have seen this whole thing like 30 times by now. But you really have to know it front and back. That's part of being a competitor, is that right?
Mhm.
What do you think about other geek competitors that are in the league? Ooh.
Oh,
And
that's a
that's
great
from
question.
Brian Fernandez.
Uh, let's see. I definitely like Rachel's my Rachel's my girl. Like, I'm a big Shy Wolves fan, and I was a big Fight Club fan last season too. So, if you saw me in the awards show, like every time they went up to get an award, which was a lot because I basically won the show,
Yes.
I was like just on my feet like clapping for them, and so Rachel's my favorite IG player, and like I said, my first IG match that I watched was the one was a match with Rachel in it, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yep, that's
Mhm.
me. That's where I should be. That's where I belong. Uh,
Yeah,
Mike,
it's stuck. It's hard.
oh yeah, Mike is really good. Like he had a base
Okay, let's
knowledge,
calm
like
that down. Okay, Chandru, let's calm that down a little bit when you say Mike is like, so good. Okay, let's calm that down. The
okay.
action, very focused.
But yeah, like the amount of
I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna be an asshole. He is so fucking talented, but fuck that guy.
okay, that's how it is.
I have to not like him. Dang it.
Okay. No, but the amount of like studying he has done, like the improvement he's shown from like the first matches he played to now is it's crazy. I've like gotten a peek or two at his binder, and that's where I would get if I'm like if I have if I do nothing else and like not go to my day job and like just have no other hobby and just stay home and write a binder, even then it would not be as thorough and as complete as his. And the amount of amount of work he puts into that is crazy. And speaking of crazy, Kevin Smith, man, he is on a completely different level. Like,
You're not
it,
fucking kidding.
Putting it mildly.
oh, so
Again, you came at a time where competitors have never been more competitive.
like
You know,
yeah, he
it's rough. It's hard. I mean, there's only so many categories, and I hate to say that they're running out of questions, but it feels like they are considering how
are they?
tough they are. You know, and there's a limited amount of movies, superhero movies, and limited amount of video game movies, and
Mhm.
Star Wars and Star Trek movies. There's only so many. So they really had to stretch some of these questions a little bit. Now, what categories would you like to see be added into IG
Oof. Uh,
next season?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like adding more movies into IG. I think as of now, the league is like the movies that they have uh, is pretty good. Like I'm actually liking the fact that they're going to like more deeper cuts and like questions that you can not just answer by like seeing a poster or reading the IMDb page. You actually have to have seen the movie multiple times to answer the question, and that's what IG has always been about, right? Like it's more focused, so you can ask deep cut questions, and people, it's an even bigger challenge. It's kind of like Star Wars, but on a slight kind on a broader level. So yeah, I I would say keep IG as it is, but a lot of people want to add like different stuff into IG. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I would just say like keep it as it is. Like there's so many more questions that they haven't asked and
Yeah.
that we've all been studying for, and
Well, exactly. I mean, they are asking harder questions, and Brandon Fernandez is asking, "What are your thoughts on the level of difficulty of the questions being asked?" I mean, I think you just answered it. Essentially, the harder the better. Essentially, is that right?
yeah,
Bring it
it
on.
actually yeah, you can see every match from even in this season, it's gotten more. The questions have gotten more and more difficult since the last, and people have been like knocking our accuracies like a little down the peg, but considering the difficulty of the questions, this new batch of fresh rookies that are coming in, we if we had been in season 4 or season 5, I think we would have gotten like perfect game. We would have done so many more perfect first rounds. It's
Yeah.
just the league is evolving. IG in particular is evolving much faster. Sometimes to catch up to catch up to the contestants, and sometimes the contestants are evolving to catch up to the league, and
Yeah.
it's almost out of necessity that the questions have to get much deeper, because like almost every like for instance I know Mike was saying this about movie release dates. Every
Mhm.
IG competitor worth his salt, worth their salt, should know literally the movie release year of every movie.
Yes.
That's what, and it's all been asked. So there's no point in even asking that anymore. And that's
That's
the
that's
league.
like 1 point questions now.
Exactly.
What used
It's
to be harder
probably.
is now those are considered 1 point questions.
Yes.
That and who played this, what actor played this person is a
Yeah.
little more considered 1 point questions
Hmm.
for sure. And since they're now more plot based, and Nerd Chronic just posted that, so I think we just answered your question right there, Nerd Chronic. So beat you to it. Now is there now you have only played in matches. Theoretically, you've only played in matches. You lost your first match, and you were up against. I'm blanking. You're up against Chance Ellison, and who else? You just told me. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name.
Oh, Keaton Markey and Brandon Hanna.
Yes, Keaton
Wait,
Markey.
how did you forget that I was going against Brandon Hanna? He's gonna like remind you. He's gonna be in the comments anytime.
No, that's in the second match. I was saying in the first match, Chandru. Huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in your first match, you lost, unfortunately. But, you did make a stellar, debut. That's for sure. It's especially for a first timer. Absolutely. So how did it feel going into being the freshest face at that table? Keaton Marchi, I mean, although she has won a, I think she was at like 1 and 2 technically, now 1 and 3 technically.
Yeah, she was at 1 and 2. She won one tournament match. She went into the second round into the tournament, and
yes,
she won against
I remember that was like last
Rosie.
year.
Yeah, Rosie Knight.
Absolutely. But she has played more matches than you, and she definitely does. She definitely is a really great competitor. And same for Chance Ellison. I mean, he's more of a singles player. He came from the fan leagues. I mean, he's definitely one of those big players right now. So how did it feel going to the table with these already, I don't want to say alumni players, but they're definitely more players that are more competitive?
Yes, definitely. They're definitely more established players. They're used to the spotlight than I am, and uh, especially with like Chance Ellison, like in the Schmoedown he was just a singles and teams competitor, but like in the fan leagues he was actually an IG champion in one of the fan leagues, if I'm not wrong. So that was interesting going in for me. Like I had to sort of step up my game, and
Step
it was
up your game.
yeah, a little bit. I need
Did you pee your pants a little bit when you found out who you were going up against in that 3-way match? I know I would have. There's no shame. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Would you have did you pee your pants a little bit when you found out who you were going up against?
Wait, after hearing Chance's name and Keaton's name?
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, okay, in my defense though, Chance, it was his debut IG match. So excuse-moi.
No, even for his debut match, he did really well. Like the light still faced him because it was a deep debut in IG, even though he's like played in singles and teams before. He almost won the match, like if not for the difficult 5-pointer. So so he actually did a really good showing. I think he got 22 points, if I'm not wrong. He ended the match with like 1 point over me. So he had a really good showing. He had a really good showing. Like I'm surprised he hasn't. It's good that he's focusing on teams and singles right now. But if he wasn't, he would have definitely gotten another match just like I did. He has a lot of potential in IG.
Well, speaking of your second match, going right into it, what a kick-ass match.
It was so great.
That was such an awesome match. Kelsey, what was your favorite part of that match? Did you
I
question something like that?
I just enjoyed the tables, seeing the competitors. Warfather's pretty entertaining. I'm interested to see him come back. So I don't know, it's just great people, great characters on the table. Want to see them all come back, and you were great. It was great to see Awesome.
I
Yeah.
love that you stuck with the dancing.
I love the dancing.
The floss. Yeah. It's my character right now, and I have to commit to the bit.
You gotta keep you gotta set yourself apart. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're probably the best dancer out of all those competitors. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I was like, you know what?
Dude,
Kinda.
no, David Moore is also like a really good dancer. Not gonna lie.
David Moore is so cool. I love David Moore. I want so much more of David Moore.
We were like the team up you two had in his entrance. That was fun.
I cannot. He's so good in front of the camera. I mean, he comes from a family of people that work in showbiz, so it's not surprising in the slightest. But sweet Jesus, please give us more David Moore.
Yes.
Yeah.
His 0-2 record does not speak for how good he is. He just like the people he's lost against are like Kevin Smith, and I'm not gonna be so proud, but like me. So who are like studying. Both of us are really like studying and preparing a lot too. So David Moore, like any match in season 7, like season 4, like season 5. I mean, last tournament. If David Moore was in the last tournament, he would have like reached the semifinals for sure. It's just that, like I said, the league has evolved a little bit. I'm sure like he has an off season now to catch up on a little bit more and study more. I definitely want to see more in IG.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping he's not after losing a few times, he fades away. So please come back, David Moore. Please come back. Hashtag more David Moore. Okay, so. Yeah, and also you went up against the Warfather.
War Daddy.
Oh, let's not.
Oh, we're not doing War Daddy jokes?
Keep your pants on. First of all, there's one in Schmoedown, and that's me. There's one daddy. And that's a fact. I mean, come on. Let me just break out my hoodie right here.
Is that?
Break out my hoodie.
There you go.
Nice.
I must say, my name is Mac, and so everyone calls me Mac Daddy.
Nice.
Even at work, everyone calls me Mac Daddy. It's ridiculous.
Wait, they don't call you the Big Mac?
No, I'm Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy's
okay.
better than that. Speaking of Mac Daddy, War Daddy, how dare you, James? Let's not do that to our, future, Okay, so also we just had this new competitor, War Daddy / War Father. What's going on there? So many feelings. So he came through the fan leagues as well. So, and he already has a character going. He has his version of Mjolnir. He has this weird thing, hat, cone head situation. I thought he was going to burst into opera for a minute. So he's kind of an intimidating figure.
Mm-hmm.
So when you sat across the table and he's like, yeah. What was that like?
That was really intimidating, man. So if you guys, I don't know if you know, but like my entire family was at the taping for that match, and
great.
So my initial plan was to bring out my 2-year-old nephew during my intro. That's why we were playing the Incredibles music, and he was in this Incredibles t-shirt, like he was going to be Jack. I was going to do laser eyes with him, pew pew pew, and everything.
That would have been epic. Oh my god, that would have been so good.
I know, right? But then what had happened was he saw the War Father, and he got so scared and started crying, and then we had to like take him out. Like my sister had to take him out of the studio. So that's why that's why we had to like switch the entrance up. Like I had to like basically improvise an entrance out of the blue. But yeah, even a 2-year-old knows they should be intimidated by
the best entrances. So let's be honest.
Even a 2-year-old was intimidated by, the War Father. Even he understands that the War Father is such an intimidating like character, and it's difficult. Like going against a rookie is always difficult because you don't have a lot of game tape to see what their strengths or what their weaknesses are. Like, am I gonna like is your knowledge base better than their knowledge base? There's no like thing to go off, and I don't think he's in the fan leagues either, because like I looked him up. He has not competed in the fan leagues, if I'm not wrong.
War
So
Dad?
no, War Daddy hasn't competed in the fan leagues. He just
Why did I think he was competing in the fan league?
showed up out of nowhere.
Maybe no, you know what? He just like someone spoke his name 3 times and he just appeared.
He just appeared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's what
magic.
happened.
Yeah, I imagine
you know,
because if he spins the opponent's choice or his choice, you don't know, you don't know what to give him.
I think the same thing happened in my first match as well. Like eventually the person who won was a rookie, so Brandon, whom I didn't have a lot of like game tape to go off to see like how good he is and how to step up my preparation and so on. Uh, that's why I was like kind of worried that it might catch me off guard, like when you don't know how good a competitor is. But like at the end of the day, you just, like Emma says, put your nose to the grindstone and like keep improving your own knowledge, like your own trivia, and that's the most you can do. But
well, speaking of which, I mean, it's like you're working on trying to improve yourself. You lost that match. You're going into this match. What is your like mental state? Like, what are you doing in order to kind of make sure you're mentally prepared for this match, other than rewatching movies and doing stuff? Like, what are you doing to make sure you're focused, so to speak?
So what I do is to take some nervousness out of the event, because until you go and sit there, like it's basically out of your control, right? Like none of the questions that are being asked are like in your control. You just have to answer whatever they're saying. But the one thing I can actually control is my entrances. So I kind of focus all my anxiety onto that aspect of the show, because I have 100% control over what I can do
And your
there.
dope dance moves. Put all that. Put all your control into those dope dance moves, and you know
exactly.
So that's all you can hope for sure.
Exactly. Like most of my like mental anxiety about the match just goes into planning that part, because I know I have control over which. And also as soon as I finish my entrance, I'm like, yes, the hard part is done. Now I just need to answer some trivia questions. So that's sort of like my mindset going into it. So which means as soon as I finish my entrance, I'm in a much more relaxed state, and which is ideally what you'd like to be in going into a trivia contest, because you need that recall. Like you don't want your brain going, oh crap the entire time. And
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I was saying earlier about being such a psychological game, especially IG. That's it, because the questions are so plot based. You can't really do a random guess all too much anymore, and hope for the best. You can't pull a Makuga.
Not an IG.
Now, so obviously we can't really go into points or anything specifically. We can't really talk about that, because the whatchamacallit, we can't really kind of go over like winners and losers and all that fun stuff. But there's been a lot of talk on Facebook and on Twitter about you as a new competitor joining the league, and it's like, and what potential you have. So I mean, like, where do you kind of see yourself, in the Schmoedown, by the end of the year? We are like coming to a close. I mean, we are in the later half of the season for sure. So what do you hope to achieve before the end of the season this year?
Let's see. I don't. So right now, everyone is focusing on the singles and teams tournaments, and sadly, because of no corruption, there's no IG tournament this year. I didn't like a lot of things corruption did, but like Anarchy and the IG tournament were some really smart things of season 5 that I liked. But so there's not a clear path to the belt right now. And see, let's see the IG, how we're just basically in kind of a playoff format.
And Dylan, you're correct, by the way. Spoiler ban, thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Chandru. Go ahead.
No worries. I think we're currently in like a playoff format in IG right now. We basically Brandon Hanna plays Emily Rose Jacobson, and I played Jared Habon, and the winners might play each other. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. I think Christian said that in one of the Facebook Q&As. So I think I can say that. So the winners play each other, and I think the winner of that would get another match ideally. So we'll see. As of now, my goal is basically to keep winning the matches because it's so much fun to be in the Schmoedown, and it's even more fun to be in a match. Uh, and the best way to make sure you get another match is to win. And
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's no one goes into a match hoping to lose. That's for sure. Oh, and let's say hi to Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Jake. Hi, Jake. Hello. Yeah, he's in the chat, just popping in to say hi. But yeah, it sounds like you're hoping to you're prepping for some matches coming up potentially.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So the winner. So because I won the triple threat, I played Jared Habon in 2 weeks basically.
Oh boy! And after that, beat Kalinowski.
That's a tall order, my friend. I think Kalinowski is a champion right now, and before reaching him, there's a bunch of other people that you need to beat. Like Smets just won an amazing match against Lavik, so he's probably like one match away from a title match again. And Mara's come back. I don't know if she's getting like an automatic title match or an automatic number one contender match, and she's earned both of them, so she could get either. And
Ooh, James is bringing up Mara.
yeah, I just brought Mara.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, he's like, oh, just in the chat. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
so yeah.
You got a lot of champions and champion aspirations. It sounds like going on.
It's why not? Like in my first I said in my first two matches, I'm coming for that big belt.
Ooh, big aspirations. I'm here for it. I'm so loving it. For sure. So, I mean, it sounds like you want that IG belt.
Yep, that's the only belt I'll earn, like probably other than the Star Wars. But that's like the only belt I can earn for sure.
Do you think you would like to be part of the Star Wars match?
If I'm given like a month to like 2 weeks to a month to prepare, like I'll be in the part of
2 weeks to prepare for Star Wars match.
Yeah, because like we already prepare for Star Wars for in our IG. We just need to go a little bit more intense. So it's not gonna be too bad. But there are enough enough good contenders already that are going to.
Okay, winner of those two faces Smets. Winner of Hannah and Rose faces Mara. And that is James's guess. So I mean, that's not, honestly, I mean that sounds about right, to be honest.
Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, there are already like a lot of great contenders in the Star Wars League. I know Kevin Smith wants to get into it. John Roca wanted to get into it at one point.
He did? I remember the idea about it like 2 years ago, but that's all I remember.
And a bunch of Andrew Dimalanta is really good. I know he got a couple of bad questions in the Star Wars festival.
Yeah, he was so good the first time.
Who's the other person? Laura Kelly.
And I will forever be
sad
until we get a match with Sam Witwer.
Oh yeah, he's doing so much work.
So busy.
I still that Knapsack Sam Witwer match like once a week, like randomly, it just pops in my head, and I'm like, down to like the millisecond.
Yeah.
I still think of that, and it happened like 2 years ago.
It's probably my most rewatched match.
So ridiculous.
But a lot of people don't like. A lot of people's dream match is like Damon versus Whitwer, but like a lot of people don't know they actually fought each other in the 5-way, in which Whitwer won to go on to play Ken. So in that 5-way, it was Joseph Grimshaw and Alex Damon are already like there. So if you want to watch a Damon Whitwer match, go back and watch it. And there's a very close call. Like Damon basically missed one steal, which 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 is which is why like Sam Whitwer won the whole match. It's a crazy match.
It,
Like that one and the following Iron Man match, those are like my all-time favorite Star Wars matches.
what was the first match that you saw and you were like that specifically in IG? In IG that you were like, oh, where not only you want to be a part of it, but you were like, oh shit, this is scary.
Oh, this
Like
is scary.
I could never be an IG just because how many deep holes there has. And I mean, like I can't watch Daredevil and Green Lantern like 50 times. Like I can't. There's so much pain I can endure in my. So, but what match or matches has scared you a little bit to kind of to make you really kind of motivate you as well?
So I think so. The first day I went to the studio. We taped they taped the Emily Rose Jacobson match versus Winston Marshall match, and
Mhm.
that was kind of a low scoring match. And I was like in the back in the sidelines just answering away on my phone, and I was like, oh yeah, this is no big deal. Like I definitely can hang an IG. Like especially when you're in the studio and you're not pausing the video to answer. You're not like looking at the question on the screen on the lower third of your screen or anything like that. You're almost I like as close as can be. I was in like the match Schmoedown match scenario, right? Like, and I was just answering away, and I was like, oh yeah, I can do it. I can hang. I can do this. And the same day they shoot Kevin Smith versus David Moore, and that match scared me.
Really? What
That match,
was it Smets in particular that scared you, or was it like
yeah.
the match himself?
No, Kevin Smith was the match that scared me because until before that, before that, I hadn't started like properly studying or like actually thought about actively participating in IG, right? Like so, I just would get 80% of the questions just without preparing, and I was like, oh yeah, if I actually know that I'm participating in it, I'd go deeper
Mhm.
into these questions, and I'll get the remaining 20% of it. And this taping is when I knew for sure that I'm going to be in the league like pretty soon. So it stopped being just watching the matches for fun or entertainment, and started being measuring how well I can do with these people, like, and comparing myself to these people. And Kevin Smith, David Moore, that match was the worst match to do that because Kevin goes ahead and does basically answers every question right except for like difficult movie release date questions. Of course, he got movie release dates in round two, which is
Mhm.
basically which is usually kind of a gimme because, like I said, every IG player would know their release dates. But still, it was really impressive. And the one he missed was like a difficult question where you had to remember every Marvel movie that was released in 2003. So the question was how many Marvel movies were released in 2003, and he missed. He did not remember all three, and he answered two instead of three.
And yeah,
But
I mean
that little
that's a question that I don't want to say that's a hard question, but I mean it's an odd question. It's not a question that you get
yeah,
expected to ask, if that makes sense.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of weird worded one for sure. And so, Chandru, I mean, like obviously, like you mentioned, entrances were something you can control. Is
Yeah.
there an entrance that you would like to do? Are you really into costumes? Are you more into music? Are you just gonna stick to your dancing and that motion? Like what's going like
The flossing.
what do you like what entrances are you really kind of hoping to do in your
Okay.
office?
First off, I have to say, entrances I thought was the only thing I can control, and then my nephew got scared of the Warfather. So even that I don't have 100% control over. But yeah, that's something I've been like thinking about, like, because as a fan of the Schmoedown, like I've seen literally every match at least twice, and every IG match at least like three times. So I'm like a big Schmoedown nerd, and if
It's like you're like so you like Schmoedown a little bit, not that much.
just a little bit. And and I love the entrance aspects of it a lot. And since Brienne Brienne did retired. Only Bibbs and Whitney and
Are
maybe
you
Stacey
ever going to
Howard
take a bibs
and
on his
Jenny.
offer to all of Schmoedown competitors to really, if anyone needs help with getting ideas, generating ideas, and figuring out costumes or whatever it may be, are you going to take him up on the offer from Bibs?
Definitely, I have a well of ideas right now, and once the well dries up, I'll definitely go to Bibs for more inspiration because I try to keep mine more IG centric, or like at least because my character is kind of like the Gen Zer or a millennial. I kind of try to keep it, Gen Z centric. So so we'll see. I have a couple of entrance ideas. I'm really excited for my entrance against Jared Hayban. I have something
We'll
really
see.
cool planned.
Oh my gosh. What do you think? Okay, tell me, what do you think of, speaking of Hyban, what do you think of him as a competitor? Are you like that punk? Are you kind of like impressed with him? What's going on there? Because let's face it, he's known as that guy from The Bachelor or whatever it is. Or Bachelor. That just so happens to be actually ain't too shabby of an IG player, so it's really impressive. So, and he just got married, so congratulations to him.
He did, or I thought he was getting married end of this month. I'm not sure. Not sure anymore.
Whenever he does or did get married, congratulations. That's it. Also, I mean, you're going to be going up against him pretty soon. So, tell me, like, how are you kind of preparing, for him?
Jared has a really good base knowledge in comic book movies and also Harry Potter, I think. But and Harry Potter and Star Wars. So he's like already pretty knowledgeable to begin with, and his first five-way match was really impressive. I think he knocked out all four players, two of them by KO and two of them by TKO.
He knocked out Donica.
It was a five-way.
No, he got knocked out by Donica. No, he lost to Donica, but like the other five-way he was in, I think it was Taylor Robinson and who else was in there? Jamie Costa and I'm blanking on the name. Dorian Parks was in there and someone else. Okay. But basically, what he did was he knocked out two of them and TKO'd the other two. So he won four. He won four knockouts in like a single match. But then he's gotten bad round two spins in his next match, both against Donica and his tournament match against Mike Kelnowski. But the scary part about Jared is he also studies, and that's the thing with IG, right? You can never know how good the player is going to be based on their earlier matches because it's such a focused division. If you put your mind to it, you can be like a KO. You can be like you can be like some of the other players and actually improve between your last match and the present match. Singles teams not so much. You can kind of gauge because there's only so much learning that you can do because it's virtually infinite list of movies. So so we'll see if he knows a lot already about superhero movies, and he knows his weaknesses as well, like Star Trek and the Middle Earth are not his.
Well, I'm sure he's working on that. That's for sure.
Exactly. The thing is like if he spins opponent's choice against me, I don't even know if I can give him Star Trek or Middle Earth again because he missed a lot of those questions.
Is that you go with the hardest one of all, which I feel like hardly anyone does. Movie quotes.
Yep.
That's what you need to do. Now we move on to one of the biggest questions of this entire interview, Chandru. We need to take this intensely serious because it will determine whether or not you're going to get kicked off this interview. So
okay, let me put my Kevin Smith face on.
Prepared? Are you mentally prepared? Are you prepared? Good. Okay. Are you Team Bateman or Team Guy?
Oh, that's a tough question.
What do you mean it's a tough question?
Here's an easy.
Why not both?
Fucking question. No, Chandru.
50-50 shot.
Oh my god.
No.
That. That's really
Choose
tough.
your words
I have
wisely.
I have to go with the good guys, man. Like Bateman,
Oh.
he
You
did nothing
chose
wrong.
poorly. What movie is that from?
Oh, Indiana Jones.
Of course it is. Which one? Who
Ah,
said it?
and the Last Crusade.
Thank God. Jesus. Jesus. No. My
But-
cat disapproves.
He didn't. He didn't. Okay.
My cat disapproved of your choice.
That's fine.
No. Look at this. Oh,
I like Guy.
no.
I'm losing. Oh, sorry. We're gonna lose viewers like by. We're gonna lose viewers by the minute. I'm sorry if like half the viewers just. This is why I didn't choose a side. Like.
You chose poorly. Oh.
I have to say, I have you on my fantasy team. I'm starting to rethink that.
But come on, it's so what I'm looking for is a team action reunion, like but I also like both the family and Who's the Boss as teams, and the reunion is only going to happen if both of them pour. Oh,
Oh.
dude, I'm a Hebon.
A Haibon fan. I'm sorry, Andrew.
I'm a Hebon fan too. But yeah, the team action reunion is only gonna happen if both teams perform badly in the tournament, and which I don't want to happen. Like I actually want a Who's the Boss versus the family as the team tournament final. How cool would that be?
I'm sorry.
Like,
you're just losing so many fans.
I know. It's just so the one thing that made me
I'm sorry. It keeps going. It just keeps
yeah.
going in popularity right now.
That's fine. I at least pick a side. But the thing is, one thing I didn't like about Guy was like I was a big like Andrew Guy fan as well as Bateman fan. I was like it was really hard for me to choose a side. But then Guy cheated in the free for all. He actually looked at Bib's answer and wrote it down as one of his answers. And as a Schmoedown player, as like a Schmoedown fan, that's crossing the line. Like I didn't like that part, and that was a bit very too much of a heel for me. And so right now I'm like,
so what you're saying
I'm on Team
is that
Bateman.
Guy is too good at his job. That's what I'm taking away from your.
Sure. As a heel, he's the best heel the Schmoedown has seen, no doubt in that. But he's a bad guy, and I don't know. I like to think of myself as a good guy. So
whatever. No big deal.
Yeah.
I get it. Losers. Poor losers. No big
But
deal.
yeah.
So now, just kind of go over. I mean, so you're going to be coming up with some matches and everything here pretty soon. I want to know, as a fan, what are your predictions coming up with some matches? Like, who do you think, again, as a fan, not as a competitor, will be? Who do you think is going to be the winner of these singles tournaments, or who do you think is going to be the best performers in the singles tournament coming up?
Oh, we don't know everyone who is in the tournament, do we?
Yes, we do.
So
we can release a thing. Oh, let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. It was a whole thing. If I can find it, that would be wonderful.
Okay, while she looks for that, I have another question for you. Okay, this is fun. This is a fun one. If you could compete in a live event anywhere in the world, where would you choose? Anywhere.
Oh, if it's anywhere in the world, man.
Anywhere.
Oh, that's a tough question. Basically, like Paris, I'm just going to be selfish and like make the live event a private tour to Paris and like a free flight ticket to Paris and like just spend time there. It'd be nice to see like how many French-speaking fans we have, right? Like that'll be a fun match to see. And if it's in the summer, maybe some American tourists are there, like some people from UK can fly over. Like a lot of people, like basically people from everywhere around Europe can fly over or come over, and that'll be amazing to see. And yeah, I wouldn't mind going back to India for a live match as well. Like, of course, I'm going to have like the home field advantage. I'm guessing like most people there would be like rooting for me. But yeah, Schmoedown has a lot of fans from India. It has like basically it has fans from all over the world. And all I'd say is like support the Patreon. Like if we grow, like we can do crazy things like that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I like that.
Son of a bitch. Where do I watch it? Someone keep talking. I am like trying to find this right now.
Oh, okay. If I have to pick a US if I had to pick a US city, I'll just make the comments happy. I'll try to earn some more commenters good favor by saying #Schmoedown Nashville.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right answer.
Am I in your good books now? Did I win back some fans? No.
Maybe a few.
Maybe a few. Still Team Bateman though. Sorry. But if Team Action gets back, I'll be Team Action. Yeah.
Okay. I can't find it right away, but there is like 11 or actually there was 13 people listed. Everyone from Roca to Silvestrini to Janine the Machine, Liz Shannon Meyer, Lon Harris. Actually, I have it right now. Thank you, James. You are the bee's fucking knees. So we have Bibbs, Chance Ellison, Ethan Irwin, Haley Fouch, Lon Harris, Stacy Howard, Janine, Brendan Meyer, Liz Shannon Miller, Mark Riley, John Roca, Whitney Seibold, and Silvestrini, like I mentioned yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Now, but also we have one added player. That's 13 players that I just mentioned. We have, since that's 13, there's still one person remaining. So depending on this next few matches, it's either going to be Bateman, Snyder, or Kalinowski.
Okay, it's 16 total, right? Because
yeah, Impressive or Del Rio.
Oh, okay, and 2 from the list of Bateman, Snyder, and Kalinowski.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Go, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. If I have to put money on it, like if I were a betting man, I would say either Bibbs or Ethan Irwin,
mm-hmm.
because like my brain says that if I have to just like go based on trivia and like how much they'll perform well. But if who I want to win, I want someone who's not won a belt yet, like actually beat everyone, have a really good tournament run this season.
When you say that's not had a belt, are you referring to someone that like, for example, like Janine the Machine that's never had a belt, or do you mean like any kind of belt, or do you mean like Kalinowski who does currently have IG belt, but
mm-hmm.
He is very vocal on that he is looking for all 3 the fucking belts.
Yep. Mikey 3 belts.
No, Mikey 3 belts. No, I'm banning you, Christian Jacobs. No.
No. See, the thing is, like, So the thing is, like, I think I'm on a path to the IG belt, right? Like, if I keep winning my next matches, I might be fighting for the belt at Spectacular. And what better way to give myself a better chance of winning the belt by having Mikey than having Mikey 3 belts. If he has to defend all 3 belts, of course he's going to be completely distracted, which is going to give me the best chance of winning the IG belt. So I'm kind of like low-key rooting for Mikey 3 belts just for selfish reasons.
Rooting for Mike to win just so he would be distracted enough for you to win IG. You know what? I'm not going to respect that strategy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I respect that. Okay, I feel you.
So basically, I want him to win for that selfish reason and also for the meme. Mikey 3 belts. Like this is like
one fan back. So
yeah. You got James back, so
yes.
Not that that's worth much, but
Dude, yeah, 2 months ago, he was like totally anti Kalinowski, and James Spence is just like the biggest Mikey 3 belts fan right now.
Had a little welcome here.
So yeah, in that sense, I would want Mike to either win against Bateman and then against Snyder and then against Oyama, or if he doesn't do that, I want him to be in like title contention for the tournament. But I'd love to see like someone like a Liz Shannon Miller or Janine the Machine or Brendan Meyer to go ahead and like win the match. Oh, Rachel Silvestrini, like she is my girl. Love for any of them to like have an. Yeah, I love her. I would love. I'd love for any of them to have like this impressive tournament run and like go against whoever the winner is at the spectacular uh, because singles league. I know Paulo Oyama has come in and he's won the belt, but it kind of feels like it keeps passing hands between the same group of people. At least last season, it felt like that, and kind of.
Kevin Marino, you are 100% here.
Get out of here, Kevin.
He already has one belt.
Because fuck that guy. With respect, fuck that guy.
And yeah, I would love to see someone new get the belt and someone who's not a heel get a belt for once. and I know Rachel and Clark have made history by.
Yeah.
Rachel and Clark have made history by being the first female belt holders, and Rachel Cushing, both Mara Konopik and Rachel Cushing have won the IG belt. But the singles league belt, we still haven't had a female singles champion, and I would love to see a female singles champion by the end of this year. Speaking of champions, Janine is here, future champion.
Yeah, future singles champion. Hello, girl. We got you. I say we ain't hiding you, girl. Mm-mm. Yeah, so absolutely. I totally agree with you. You know, the singles lineup for the singles, the singles tournament is going to be bonkers. Holy fucking shit. It's going to be so fucking awesome. And yes, we love you, Janine. So glad to see you before.
Love you, Janine. And yeah, I'd say like this is one of the anything goes single. This is one of the most unpredictable brackets. Like any of these 16 people can have an amazing tournament run and win the finals. Like no one is a slouch here.
We do know specifically some matches, upcoming matches. Recently with the Lon Harris versus Paul Preston match, it was revealed that Whitney Seibold and Brendan Meyer are actually going to be going up against each other as current and former Bibbs teammates. So I'm excited for that. I'm really hoping for Seibold to really kick ass with this match. Nice. You know, I want to see more of the beauty because, you know, he's so beautiful. I mean, let's be honest. And so, and Chandru, based off this one upcoming match, what are you hoping to see?
Okay, my brain and heart say different things. Like who I want to win and who I think is gonna win are different things. Yes. I think
your head, not your heart, your head.
Okay, who I think is gonna win is Whitney because like his 0-1 record does not reflect how good he is. He actually was in title contention for teams, so he's no slouch at all. And but who I want to win is Brendan. I definitely want more young blood in the league, and what better way to like have the kid, literally the kid, win the match. And
he did so good during.
He was amazing in the free for all. So I was
holding your own, boy.
I was live in the audience in the free for all, and he was just like crushing it. That was a great experience to see.
I remember watching that, and I, honest to God, I literally cried.
I low-key wanted.
I cried.
Oh wow!
It was like really stupid of me. Like I was just like looking at Bibbs, and I was like, he worked so hard. Oh my gosh! And he lost on one question. He laughed. He was the first person to come out. What? Right, and I got like really emotional. And then there's less than 5 matches where I actually have gotten emotional. But
Schmoedown
does things to people, you know.
Yeah,
He
no, I
does.
definitely wanted Bibbs to win for like multiple reasons. Like if like of course I, he's amazing. Like he actually like stood against so many people coming in, and that would have made for a great story. That was the second reason, and also Loki wanted him to win because if he won the free for all, the kid would have been MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's
he
true.
got the MVP. He got the MVP because Dan Murrell won the free for all,
Well,
and
he still is able to use that belt. I mean, he still has like he hasn't used his title shot thing.
that is really true. That is very true. But yeah, those are like those are the multiple reasons I wanted. I was like rooting so hard for Bibbs, even though like I'm a big Dan Murrell fan. I was like my loyalties are split, but I was rooting for that to happen because at that point Dan was already the singles champion, I think, and he was well on the route to earn the team title matches. Like I was like, he doesn't need another title shot. He's already like kind of at the top
Right?
of the mountain.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see what he's going to be doing. Now, I do want to follow up, like I mentioned earlier, like on social media and everything. You've had a few call outs.
Oh yeah.
When word okay, spoilers, everyone, spoilers. Okay, so step away if you have not seen the actual match. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, go the fuck away. You shouldn't be here. 1. Okay, so you won. Awesome. Okay, we can officially thank you. So, so you okay? Right when it was which found out that you won the match, Kaiser said, "Oh my gosh, he's coming in for Smets. That's cute. We're gonna like grass." And also right after, Brandon Hanna was just like, "Oh man, I just kicked his ass like last week, and now he's coming for me this week. That's sweet." Who obviously you're not going to be playing either of them for like a minute, but which one of them would you be more excited to compete against?
Ooh, I'd be more excited to compete against Mets. I'm not gonna lie. It's just
because he scares the shit out of you, or
oh yeah, he definitely scares the shit out of me, and
who doesn't he scare the shit out of himself?
yeah. But the thing is, like, I feel like I've also improved since my last match, and I'm continuing to improve every match, and it'll be a nice yardstick. If uh, let's see. So the thing is, Kevin has only had either knockouts.
Sorry, my mic just fell.
Kevin has only had like either knockouts or
Spoiler, bro.
Spoiler.
you just spoiled Sixth Sense for me. Come on. Oh, so Kevin Smith has only had like either knockouts or he's gone against Mike and lost. So I wouldn't.
Oh.
Oh.
Of course. Did you say his name 3 times? Please repeat it.
I'm surprised it took him that long.
Okay. So
You only said his name 2 times.
it'll be a fun match. I would like to go against Mets, especially like with how like fun loving and happy to be there my character is, and Kevin Smith's character is like just just uh, just like
So-
the serious face and like hoodie the whole time. What
I'm hearing, Chandru, is that you're calling Brandon a little bitch, right?
I mean,
that's what
I'm
I'm
just
hearing.
saying Kevin Smith.
Brandon a little bitch. Brandon, are you gonna take that?
Can we quote that?
I think he's taking it. I think he's taking that little bitch comment. Chandru, you better watch yourself.
Oh man, sorry.
Careful with
This is pulling the words out of my mouth. So I just feel like that'll be a fun, sort of contrast to play with in the match. And my goal, of course, would in that match to be to win the match. But then my second goal would be to like how make Kevin Bake character somehow. Like that'll be my Loki goal. And
Brandon,
yeah,
I'm your friend. You're forever my friend.
and yeah,
He's
I mean,
calling you a bitch, not me. Let's be honest.
and I guess if I go against Kevin Smith, even if I lose, that'll be like something I'll take away. I guess it's a win-win situation for me if I go against Kevin Smith. Basically, if I lose, I was expected to lose. If I win, that'll be like one of the bigger upsets. Nobody would be expecting it, and and I'd have something under the belt that I was like one of the two people to defeat Kevin Smith, and yeah, it'll be nice to sort of have this common me- like measure myself against Kevin Smith, because I've played along in every one of his matches, and his like if I was in Kevin Smith's place in any of those matches, I would have won too. So nothing against their opponents, like they're all great, and but they didn't know what they were going up against when they went to when
Little did they know.
yeah, exactly. Little did they know
Now.
when they went against Kevin Smith.
Yes.
So I kind of always like compare myself to him, like in his matches. But the environment is not the same, because like I'm not under the spotlight. No one is waiting for me to answer the questions. I'm just answering my phone, or like answering not on the whiteboard, or saying it out loud or anything like that. So the only way for me to like measure myself against him with the same sort of environmental conditions is to be in a Schmoedown match, and that'll be a really fun match to see. And
Oh, I
I'll,
100% agree. And I think, yeah, some of our viewers are agreeing as well. Here we got Danny. She's agreeing. Love to see that match. Come up with some dope matches, Chandru. I'm not going to lie. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all those fucking matches. I'm here for all the matches between everybody.
but yeah,
Christian, are you listening? He needs to listen. Chandru.
but yeah. hmm I think the way the sort of mini tournament is set up, Brandon plays Emily right now, and I play Heban. And if both Brandon and I win our respective matches, there might be a potential rematch against Brandon. Again, I guess I go in with nothing to lose, because he's never lost, and he'd be the favorite going in, and he's gonna keep telling me that I lost to him once, because he keeps continuing to say that, and I like to think more about the future, and he just continues to like just bring up the past, saying, "Oh yeah, I won, you lost, I won, you lost," and we'll see. Of course, I'm gonna keep a counter on the side to see how many times he mentions him winning over me in like the single match. He might break some sort of record.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really seen you be all super active on the interwebs, so to speak, all that much. So I'm excited to see you. I know your face, and I know your personality on Schmoedown is, really nice and sweet, and all that good stuff, and that's swell and everything, Chandru. But I'm really hoping I see some smack talk come here over the next.
I am
want to see
really
it happen.
I'm really bad at trash talk. Like if I do that, so the thing is like I can throw shade, but the thing is, uh, my brand of shade, it doesn't relate. It doesn't sort of
It's not who you
translate.
are.
It doesn't translate well on text. So
Yeah.
so the kind of shade I throw during my matches, it just comes off as like nice, well-meaning shade. But then when I try to type it out, it just sounds mean, because like you're not hearing me say it in my like nice tone. So I'm still trying to learn
St. Louis, yes, please.
learn how to trash talk like without crossing lines. We'll see. Not a big fan, but yeah, I'm not going to be like in Facebook or Twitter trying to start fights. But if someone calls me out like Kaiser did with the photo and everything, I'm not gonna just take. I'm not gonna just lie down taking.
That's totally
Take
fine.
it lying
You know
down.
what?
So I'm just
That's
gonna
totally
I'm gonna
fine.
exactly. I'm gonna
As long as
clap
you're,
back.
like, reading and recognizing, and you know it's happening. You don't have to respond. Other people will respond for you. Trust me.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Ooh, actually, big question. Okay, we're gonna be wrapping things up here pretty soon. But we do want to ask before we hit over to questions from our viewers. Here are just like one or two more questions. As a currently, you just won your first match. What faction would you like to be in?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
several
that's a really
factions
good
that
question.
have no IG competitors.
What table?
Like
Yeah,
I said,
so which one would you like to be in?
I don't want to be in a faction which already has one IG competitor. Then it's just going to be like infighting eventually, because IG the pool is so small.
So
like
what I'm hearing is definitely no corruption.
not corruption, because they already have 2 IG players.
And
Not the dungeon.
of course.
Nah, they have two IG players too. I've loved the Five Club. If the Five Club existed, I would not have even like thought about it twice. I would have just said Five Club, like even before you finish the question. Um,
Fair.
but if the Shirewolves are down to like starting a faction again, well, with or without a manager, I'd like be
I'm
down to
sorry,
be.
you would want to join the Shirewolves with former belt holder of the IG. You would be like,
Um,
you can set this one out for this season, Rachel. Let me take that for you. You want to tell Rachel that?
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I totally forgot that part. Okay. So Shirewolves Fight Club is off the table too. Let's see. Hmm, the Horsemen.
We
Do
have
they?
a
Do they?
suggestion. Danny suggests the family.
Oh,
Yeah.
is Robert Meyer Burnett still in IG? Is he
Yeah.
technically still in IG?
I don't think he is. I think he's just focusing on being a manager. To be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, they're typically portrayed as heel, but like it'll be fun to be in their faction too. But I'm like trying to be and do good things and let's see. But yeah, it's odd couple has always been like a tweener faction, but I thought that'll be a nice faction to be in because love Roxy and
Is another suggestion.
oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Odd couple because like Roxy is a manager who's also like not a fossil.
True.
Oh
Well,
man,
I'm not gonna lie, and you could be known as
Drew
it be renamed called the Drew Train.
the Drew.
Sorry, I couldn't. Let's make that a hashtag. Hashtag Drew Train. Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, I feel like that honestly, considering your personality with the Schmoedown and everything, I feel like Shazam would be a good fit.
Yeah, Shazam.
For sure, absolutely, and but also, I mean, just such as like Brian Fernandez, he's mentioning, there are not sure if to join a faction or go solo all the time. I mean, there are a few players that prefer to go solo dolo, So I mean, it's kind of up to you and Christian and Mark. See what happens.
I'm not gonna lie, it's nice to have a faction, like even though it's all storyline and like people support whom they want. I want to support in the background. It's nice to like have that have that sort of support, to have someone walk out with you and support other people like walking out with you. I can't tell you enough how amazing having a manager is. I can't stress it enough. A lot of people benefit a lot by having a manager. So if I join a faction, it will be with a faction with an active manager who's also like helping me train or like quizzing me in general, or like do trying to do homework on my opponents, things like that,
Yes.
or speak for me.
All the
Watch
greatest teams right now
watch
have managers. That's for sure.
exactly. Watch the match. Watch the match during the call and like throw out challenges, because one regret I have from my first match is like I have a lot of regrets because I actually lost. There's a couple of things I could have done. One was the respin, which if I talked to a manager, like I would have not stuck with heroes and villains. I would have actually like respun the wheel, because like a lot of my strength were still on the wheel. And another thing was actually, I was thinking of a challenge, which was when Brandon Hanna answered that Suicide Squad won the Oscar for makeup. I was like, can I challenge that? It's actually makeup and hairstyling, but it's all Monday morning quarterbacking. And at that point, I just thought, okay, this is my first match. I just don't want to come off looking like a bad person. Uh,
Thank you for
ooh,
the suggestion. Sorry, we did not think of that. Jay Washington
Yeah.
joining, the time machine.
that'll be really fun. So yeah, so
Janine and Ethan, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
that'll be we'd be the most diverse faction out there.
Yeah.
Kelsey, Nat, before we jump into our fan questions,
Mhm.
our viewer questions, do you guys have any, final questions?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me just finish the thought on the. Sorry. Let me just finish the thought on the challenge. So so yeah, I would have. I wanted to challenge. I don't know how the challenge would have gone. If it had gone my way, that would have been like a 4 point swing. He would have lost the 2 points. I would have gotten like the makeup and hairstyling point, and it would have been a much different match going into that third round. I would have been like in a much better headspace, or like going into my spin too. I would have not played. I would have played it safer. But yeah, it's just it's bygone. Let bygones be bygones. But having a manager in that match would have really helped. I could have actually talked to the manager if I wanted to
But
challenge
again,
things like that.
it was your first match.
Exactly.
You're just learning. You're just figuring out, strategy.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then you kind of figure those things out. Sometimes you really have to lose a few matches in order to kind of learn from your mistakes.
That is very true. I'm glad my first match was a loss. So because you learn a lot from your losses, and you actually learn from your success, learn from your wins. So if we end up actually meeting, if I end up playing Brandon, I would just like to return the favor. Brandon, you learn a lot from your loss, and I'm just here to help you out.
Right now?
No, I'm just saying like. I'm just saying that was such a nice thing that happened. Like I learned a lot from my loss, and he would too. He would learn some humility too, which sure he's lacking in. It's
That's
it's yeah. So it'll be good for him to like learn all of those things.
Yeah, I mean, like definitely, it again when you lose, it sucks, and it sucks to suck, Brandon. That you're not wrong, sure.
So that's
but
twice he's already.
And things happen, and okay, Brian, calm your shit. Okay, what's losing? I don't know what that's like. Explain it to me, Brandon.
He'll know soon. He'll find out soon.
Oh, he'll find out. Ooh, Chandru, the smash talk.
See, this is the thing. Like, this is the thing. This brand of shade, like, if I text it, it just sounds so arrogant. But this is how I talk. It's just.
You know what? A little arrogance never hurt nobody.
So I'm just learning learning how to make people like picture this smiling face when they read my comments. It will get there.
It's okay. It's a work in progress. That's all. Kelsey, do you have any questions, real quick?
One thing I could think of is it seems that you do go to a lot of the LA live shows. Do you have any plans to go to any of the others that are happening? Orlando, Arizona, New York, anything like that?
I did go to the San Diego one too. I met James Pence there. Shout out. He was amazing. He was like one of the few people who recognized me, and he was like talking to me about my match, and felt really good like to meet with the fans. At that point at that point I only had like a 0-1 record, so I wasn't so I wasn't in any of the like the chats and stuff. Hey, James. Yeah, it was really really refreshing to like see fans, and that was my first like actual fan interactions outside of the studios. But
get excited because you're gonna see more over the next times whenever you come over to when you come to more matches. Whether play or otherwise, that's for sure.
But yeah, I would love to travel, but then the thing is, if you're not a contestant or a manager.
Come your shit, Dylan. Come your
shit. Is that about James? Okay.
I'm sure.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, if you're not a contestant or a manager, you're not going to get you would have to like basically pay for your whole travel and accommodation and everything. And
true. That's true.
That's currently not. That's currently something I'm not sure if I want to do. We'll see. And it's also like takes away the whole weekend if I have other plans, things like that. But
oh boy.
But yeah, but LA live matches, I'm definitely going to be there, and I think they're planning to have the spectacular live in LA. Christine has definitely talked about that before. I can say that I'll be there whether I'm playing or not, or whether I'm in a faction or not. I'll definitely be there, like rooting for my favorite players.
Well, it's gonna be a fucking delight because I'm gonna be in Tampa and I'm gonna be in New York, so it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yes.
You're gonna be over in Tampa with me. Yeah, girl, we are together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to both action and Mark Ellis stand up?
No, I'm going to
Action live
when I'm
show.
in New York. I'm gonna be that day. They're actually having the show. I'm doing other things. But I'm gonna be going to the AMA with Bateman and Guy for their live event.
Oh yeah, nice.
Comedy
The
Club.
action live event. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so
That's what I.
it's gonna be a kick ass. It's gonna be so
That's
cool.
awesome. I'm really excited for them. Like this is
Mm.
their first live match. They have like a lot of great things planned, and I'm sure it's gonna be a great time.
Yeah. Well, Nat, do you have any final questions before we not pause it over, like move it over to our viewers?
Yeah. So since the beginning of time, there's been a lot of clamoring among fans for a Intergeekdom tag team division, Intergeekdom team division.
Ooh.
That's ever implemented. Who would you want as your partner?
So the question is, would I want to be competitive or would I want to just have fun, right? Like those are two different questions. Especially in IG, you cannot have both. I think, uh, yeah, there's very few people who have fun and also like remain competitive. And I'm trying to like sort of bridge the gap between the two and like be in both, right? If I want to win the belt, like Kevin Smith is a great option. Like we have great conversations off stage. Like it's a nice like contrast to if we both stick in character. It would be a great team. Like he just he says nothing, and I try to like make friends with the other team. And uh, Rachel Cushing for sure. That would be like an out of body experience for me. That like
Oh, boy,
if I'm on stage in the same team with Rachel Cushing, like participating in a team's match,
If you have a moment where you like fist bump each other,
I'd be yeah. Oof. If Christian just
I would cry for you.
if Christian asks
Joy.
yeah no if Christian asks me what is your dream match? I mean, if I play this match, you're going to get just one match and then you're going to retire. Like, but you can plan the whole match. How would it be? I would want it to be Rachel Cushing and me versus KO and Smets, and I'd happily retire from this Schmoedown if that ever happened in IG.
Oh, that would be kick ass. Not kidding. Not kidding. Awesome question, Nat. Oh,
That was a great question.
Thank you.
okay. Well, now before we log off, this is a chance for you guys, our fans, our viewers, everyone. So if you guys have any questions that you want to ask Chandru, go ahead and put them in the chat. That way, I will post them on here, and so he can read them and answer them for you, and it'll be awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a few minutes. So to ask some of those questions. In the meantime, we're just gonna chat up and be awesome. So, all right. So, Changer, while they get thinking and typing away, for sure.
Yeah.
I know, like you mentioned, it's kind of a weird transition. Playing from on the side to actually being a competitor again, and there's a lot of things going on. But now you actually won. You lost, and then you won. You kind of, I don't like to say you've been surrounded by sudden fame or anything like that, but like you mentioned, you were recognized over at the live events and everything. What do you kind of like? What kind of like fan stuff do you like to do? I mean, like, are you eventually hoping to have your own like fan group on Facebook or?
Yeah.
Something? I mean, it could happen. There can be the Chandru Shites or something.
We'll see. I'm not going to like start my own Facebook group or anything like that. We'll just let it naturally happen if people want to do that. I definitely like I'm getting a lot. I like to read YouTube comments generally because like they've been more positive for me like than negative. Like so it's kind of been kind of a pick me up for me, and even Facebook, like people on Facebook have been more or less positive. What?
It's a weird.
It's a little weird. Yeah, I mean,
And do
I
stuff
mean,
like
yeah.
that.
If I get bullied by Kaiser and Smets and Hannah, Like,
For real.
yeah, and then I clap back. They actually get support. It's kind of weird. Like, it's hard to know whose side people are on. But yeah, it's fun having those interactions. I like the less trash talk, more like actually talking about Schmoedown part, because like you saw, like, I love talking about the Schmoedown, and if
It's a
there
real
was
passion, essentially.
it's yeah. If there was ever a Schmoedown trivia Schmoedown, as an exhibition
Trivia Schmoedown. I love that.
as an exhibition match, I would basically kill everyone.
Yeah, not
Like,
kidding. Well,
This is
especially
one of the
though
fan groups.
you're dedicated. I mean, like, you're dedicated. I love this fandom. You know, we have some fans here that really want to ask you some awesome questions. So, including one from a non-fan, Chandru. What is your study regimen? Please be specific and don't omit any details.
okay, so this is what so this is what I do. As long as it's not as long as it's not a contestant, I can really reveal my. No, I'm not. It's
No,
just
it's all good. It's all good. Okay, well, from Paul Denuzio, he asks, "Who is your most underrated director and actor?" So
oh,
you don't have to think about it too much. You can give us some quick answers.
mm, I don't know. A lot of old Guillermo del Toro movies are like underrated. Like Blade 2 is amazing. I'm just gonna stick to IG. And he had a. I would have loved to see what his Hobbit would have been, because like he was Loki working with it a lot, and then Peter Jackson had to step in for reasons. And I love The Shape of Water. And wait, what other movie did he do? He did the two. I'm blanking right now. But
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro. I love Pan's Labyrinth. That's my favorite.
yeah, Pan's Labyrinth, and then
Toro
did he?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's my personal favorite. He's so talented when it comes to
yeah.
talking about fairy tales and like
hmm
creatures. I mean, he's a monster creator. He is the
Yes,
monster creator.
and
For
I think
sure.
he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have another question. Okay, do you say, I think you answered this one earlier. Do you plan your entrances, or do you just improvise it? I think you mentioned earlier that they were kind of something
Yeah.
in your
No.
like kind of improvised.
Yeah. No. Definitely. I definitely look forward to planning my entrances, because like the single song, same get up, sort of like bores me when other people do it, and like I usually try to do the stuff that I would want to watch, I would want to see in the Schmoedown, and because of that, I bring the same aspects I liked about the Schmoedown, and that's why I do my entrances. The second one was a little improv. The one in my triple threat, the entrance was improv because of reasons I've already went through. But
There's a
usually
lot
I plan them ahead of time.
when it comes to you. Like, let's be honest. If you want to do an entrance, sometimes it's nice to know you don't have to spend money or
hmm
I've seen like sometimes entrances, they take so much effort. You have to like make the costumes or buy the
Oh
costumes.
yeah.
They're expensive AF. And
hmm
I put it together with music and think of what's gonna do or the scene or correspond with your teammate or whatever. So there can be a lot of work that goes into it. That's why we have bids to be like a coordinator
For
unofficially.
sure, for sure. As of now, I'm just planning stuff which are kind of in my ballpark, and like I can plan and fund it myself. Maybe we can do Schmoedown invoices, like Schmoedown reimbursement. We'll see how that goes. But then, if like I said, if my well of ideas dry up based on how many matches I'm in, I'll definitely
Cool.
definitely hit him up for suggestions.
Who
He
knows?
has a lot of ideas.
Maybe since it was only your second match, they're only gonna get like more and more grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Start
you
of
never know.
crazy.
One more,
Like,
yet another reason to keep
he's
looking
gonna,
forward to my
they're gonna
match.
take over like the entrances. They're gonna be the new brand of entrances.
That'll be fun.
And sorry, girl, we're gonna knock you down a few pegs. And it's like Danny is offering
There's
to
no.
potentially create a Chandru fan page. So heads up, that might be coming your way.
I like that. Drew.
Here's another one from Brian Fernandez. What is a movie that you don't like that
Oh.
you don't like that audiences like?
Oh.
So I guess they can refer to like cult movies or just really stupid movies, or maybe they're just downright sentimental and they're close to your heart.
it's just like I think some movies are really really overrated. But like it takes a lot for me to not like a movie. Even most of these IG movies that are hated, like I still have a great time watching them
Including
because
Green Hornet.
including what?
Green Hornet.
I've not seen Green Hornet because it's not part of IG.
We found a weakness, everyone. We found a weakness.
It's not in IG. They're not never gonna ask questions
Hornet?
about Green.
That's
No,
a
it's not.
comic book movie, motherfucker.
Is it?
That's a comic book movie. Get studying.
Okay. You've revealed that if there's ever a Green Hornet slides on the wheel,
It's a superhero.
my
One.
phone is okay.
Get excited.
See, the thing is, superhero movies and comic book movies are different, right? Like superhero movies can be asked about, but not comic book movies. I mean, sorry, comic book movies can be asked about, but not superhero movies. So it's kind of like a fine line. I don't know.
Kevin Smith, Chandru will be hearing about from the Dungeon Lawyers about that entry. So please return my hoodie. There we go.
Sure.
So we got a little bit of smack talk coming in from some competitors.
So much smack talk. Like I said, I have this like magnetic superpower.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So okay, let's just ask one last question though before.
I did not answer the previous question. So
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's fine. No, it's not Green Hornet. There's gonna be a hot take, but I think Rogue One was okay.
That's not a hot take.
Okay. A lot of people like. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed the movie. That movie's a delight.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that.
You said Daredevil, the best superhero movie of all time. That would be a hot take.
That would be a hot take for sure. I'm not gonna say that.
I think you really need to calm down, Chandru, because first you called Brandon Hanna a bitch. Now you're saying Rogue One is okay. Like, I mean, take it.
Okay. I think I only said one of them, and like.
Love. So I think you're saying I like Rogue One too. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Rogue One. So you're not alone.
Okay. So the thing I most
so sorry.
hate about, but here's the hot take part. The thing I most hate about Rogue One is the Darth Vader scene.
What?
It has no reason. The Darth Vader scene has no reason being in that movie.
Except to be amazing.
Exactly. It's just fan service.
It was my jam when I was like 9 years old.
Oh, Rocketeer? Oh yeah, I actually missed the Rocketeer question. That's why he likes to bring up the Rocketeer.
Well, yeah, you're getting called out. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So we thank you so much, Chandru. We are cracking at an hour and 32 fucking minutes. So sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chandru, for letting us interview you. I know you didn't have to, but I think it's pretty kick-ass for like you hanging out and chatting with us for a very fucking long time, talking about movies and strategy and IG and singles and all this fun stuff. So, but for future reference, Chandru, where can we find you?
I'm at Chandru.
Daily Chandru Dose.
I'm at Chandru Thinks on both Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page. Mostly snacking away the trash talk that's coming, trying to move it away, trying to like answer to the trash talk that is coming my way from both Brandon Hanna and apparently Kevin Smith now. I don't know. Oh God. Sure.
I'm sorry.
So just drop a comment. People say don't tag competitors in on the Facebook Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook group. But if you're not personally hurting me, like feel free to tag me. I'm not gonna feel bad about that. the only reason I go to Facebook nowadays is to check this group. Otherwise, I kind of feel like Facebook is cancelled. So,
Dude,
so
I 110% agree. Not even kidding. Yeah. Well, say there in Kelsey, where can we find you?
You can find me at KelseyKins90 on Twitter and Instagram. I also handle the call to action Instagram as well, so you'll see me popping up on there as well.
Boss ass babe, hit it.
Yeah.
And Nat.
Sometimes I post as the Call to Action Podcast Facebook page at facebook.com/Call to Action Pod. So please like that. And also, I'm trying to be active on Twitter. So follow me at twitter.com/nightice44. So yeah, give me a follow.
Yes, you're so awesome on all the social medias, all those cool places where I'm not cool enough to be. But regardless, oddly enough, I actually run the Twitter page. So I run the Call to Action Twitter page. Please retweet, like, and share everything. And he just left us, but that's fine. That and check out our Facebook page, just like Nat said, just like Kelsey said, check out our IG, and we're trying to be much more aggressive because we're coming for that slice of best podcast ever for the group.
It's ours.
It's coming.
Frank, we're coming for that slice. Coming for the season in January. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's a fucking inevitable. Just saying, everybody. All right, but thanks again, everyone, for joining, and everyone that's viewing it. We really appreciate you. And so after that, we sound off. Love you guys. Bye.
Make it 3 bouts.
It just keeps going. It keeps going. It keeps going.